Hear the stories of men and women switching hustles and escaping the odds through entrepreneurship after prison. Not only will these stories inspire you, but also unlock business tips for financial freedom. What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for tuning in to another dope episode of Escaping the Odds podcast, where we interview the formerly incarcerated who are now successful entrepreneurs. Got my main man here with me, Ronnie Reed, out of the Dallas, Texas area. The brother spent 15 years incarcerated and has a unique business, Cryotherapy. I'm gonna let him get into that. It's called Tilted 360. He's going to break it down, man. It's really, really interesting concept. How you doing, brother? I'm doing well, man. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Okay. Yeah, so basically 360 Cryo, man, it's a mobile cryotherapy unit, and it's used by a lot of sports athletes and people like that. Anybody that's in the sports field or recovery, for any kind of recovery.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Now, first and foremost, it's new to me, right? What cryotherapy is. I've seen it on ESPN, as you have before, of course, but let the audience know a little bit more about this particular treatment, the benefits, and then once we do that, we'll kind of go into your backstory and kind of tell the audience how you even came up with this whole idea, which is unique within itself.
Okay, well, cryotherapy is a cold treatment where you step inside a chamber or you got a localized machine and you can put pressures of cold on either your whole body or just one certain area. But you step inside the machine and you can go from -0 all the way to -230 within a matter of 3 minutes. It's good at helping your body rejuvenate your muscles and stuff like that, so you can have muscle mobility and a fast recovery.
Okay. All right, let's go back a little bit. That was a quick introduction. We'll get a little bit more deeper into that. But I wanted to get into your backstory, man. You got a hell of a story, where you come from, where you at right now. Let the world know who Mr. Ronnie Reed is.
Man, Ronnie Reed, man. I was incarcerated for 15 years. I've been out 4, and I learned to just change my whole way of my process of thinking, man, to want more and want better for myself.
Okay. And so you from the Dallas area, correct?
Yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas. What we call North Afghanistan right now.
North Afghanistan?
North Afghanistan, man. It's hectic out there, man.
Okay, yeah. Talk about that whole experience growing up in that area, man, and actually what led you to your incarceration more than 20 years, almost 20 years ago.
Just coming up in that area right there, I was pretty much, me and the people I was around was one of the people that we brought the neighborhood to what it is today. Not saying that it's a good thing, but we was the one that was out there creating havoc and having the youngsters turn up to what they doing now. Just out there wilding out, doing the wrong thing, man, in the streets, selling drugs, breaking and entering, robbing, just the things that you're not supposed to be doing, but you thinking it's right, And now at this moment right here, it's like the kids from that area, they praise the call of North Afghanistan. It's looked like it's something popular now, when in actuality is not, man. But yeah, just being from that neighborhood and doing everything that I wanted to do, thinking I was grown at an early age, man, that put me in some messed up predicaments, and I ended up being incarcerated. I originally got sentenced to a 40-year sentence, and I went back 2 years later and gave some time back, man. I ended up with a 16-year sentence, and I did 15 years on it.
Oh, 15 years on 16. So that was almost 100%. Why were you able to? Why you had to spend that much time in there? 15 out of 16. I know most of the time is half or 80%.
Man, one thing I just say that this is Texas. They got you. You ever heard of Texas Hold'em Pokem? That's what they gonna do.
Okay.
They playing poker with you, man. So they gonna hold you. That's guaranteed. But just I was down there living the wrong lifestyle at the beginning of doing my time. It took me like 8 to 10 years just to realize that wasn't for me. That wasn't a place I needed to be. It took me that long to tap into myself to figure out what I wanted to do with my life.
Exactly.
And you got to understand, I went to prison at the age of 18 years old. So I was a kid myself. I was labeled an adult, but just mentally and everything, I was still a kid. So I was doing the wrong thing.
Right. So what was that situation, or a combination of situations, that really had you change your mindset?
Being put in a situation where you feel like, your friends or your riding partners, your gang member partners, or whatever you want to call it, you get put in a situation you really feel like that, you out there by yourself, man. Ain't nobody that gonna help you out. It's every man for himself, dog eat dog or whatever,
Yeah.
But I was placed in administrative segregation, and that's where you get 23 hours inside the cell, 1 hour outside the cell, 1 shower, things like that.
Yeah.
And
how long were you in there for?
I did.
How long they put you on the hold for?
2 years.
2 years straight.
2 years straight.
Okay. Hey, we can't bypass that, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's something within itself. You already sentenced to 16 years, or at the time 41.
Yeah.
But then to think about, take the audience through that, man. 2 years, 2 full years, 2 Christmas, right?
Yeah.
2 birthdays, 2 everything, 2 calendars, 23 hours a day, locked up 1 hour a day. Was it 1 hour a day, or did they do like let you out a couple times a week for that shower?
Nah, you get out 3 times a week for a shower. Be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and 1 hour rec yard a day. If they come by, if they don't skip you, that'll depend on how they feeling. But at that time right there, man, it was really, being put in that situation and not knowing the full capabilities of myself. It was a situation where it was either I was going to become so intelligent and so desperate to do the right thing, or I was going to go mentally insane.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I know you've seen men go insane back there, right? And that 23 and 1. So how did you make sure your mind was tight, man? Because that's a lot of stress on you, not really seeing daylight, maybe 1 hour out the day, and it's all you left with all of your thoughts. And so how were you able to keep it together?
Man, I end up just reading books, and I had a neighbor who was a couple cells down, and he was like, "Look, man, I'm a youngster." He's like, "Look, youngster, you ain't got to be doing your time like that. Stop looking at it like you in prison. Start looking at it like you in college. Learn what you can." So I took that and I prepared myself to just started reading, fiending for knowledge. Anything I come across, I can read it, whether I liked it or not. I ain't have nothing else to do.
Right, exactly.
It opened me up to the world, period. Because at one point in time, I've never read a romance book. I never listened to country music, things like that. But just being there and going over the same routine, you get tired of the redundancy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Looking for something different.
You search for something new. And I just started grasping everything.
Okay. And so any of those books entrepreneurial at all?
Yeah. I read so many entrepreneurial books, man. It pushed me to the point to where just reading books, periods, pushed me to the point to where I started writing my own books.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, you know what? We definitely got to get into that as well, because that's another side of you that I want the audience to be able to support too. So, all right, now you get out the hole, right? And you got this mindset shift, like, because sometimes when we in a situation, we say we want to change, but then when we get back into that environment that we was taken away from, oftentimes we go back into the same kind of behavior. Was it the same thing where it kind of took you a little bit longer, you know what I mean, to kind of get away from the crowd that you were at? Because remember, we're in this closed environment or prison, and so it's hard to get away from that kind of environment that you were once a part of. So how were you able to do that once you got out of that isolation and back into population?
Man, basically, it was an adjustment period, but at the same time, when I came out and I made everything understood that, it's just me and myself, I'm standing on my own, and that's what it is. Anybody and everybody got to respect that,
Right.
Especially, the so-called, uncalled, quote unquote work I done put in and things I've done, just to build up my stature as myself and my reputation. It's like, man, it's just me,
Right.
Whether I'm in a cell or on the streets, it's just me. I'm all I got. So I got to do it for me.
No, absolutely, man. And so, how was that received from people though? Like, did you get any pushback, or was it pretty much a supportive environment for it? Because it can go both ways.
It was supportive. It was supportive.
Okay.
For the most part, everybody supported and like, man, we understand, man. You've been down here, you done did this. Look at something else.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Let's kind of go into when you first came up with the idea of Tilted 360, utilizing the cryotherapy. Because you hit me to a lot of stuff as it relates to that, and I want you to do the same thing to the audience, because I truly believe it's a benefit to it. I think oftentimes too, like in our communities, we just really don't know about certain particular techniques or tools that can really help us from a health standpoint. And I think this is one of them. So I want to give you the chance to really be able to talk about that. But first, before we get into all that, like, how did you come up with the whole concept of it?
I came up with the concept watching the documentary, ESPN 30 for 30 documentary. And they was just showing ball players when they sitting in a tub of ice, they showing ball players do that and they discussing everything that is good for. Well, fast forward between the early 90s and 2000 and all that, they started coming out with these machines called the cryo chambers, and basically they get in there and it freezes their body colder than ice water, and it's a lot faster. So I sat back and I'm thinking like, man, if this gonna be something that's taking over and they are projected to hit $1 billion in sales and revenue streams and things like that within the next few years, I want to be a part of that.
Right.
So I started digging inside researches, minimum research at most, but through writing and getting correspondence, having everybody else check up on it, just reading different things in different articles or magazines and stuff like that. But it pushed me to learn about it. And the more I learned about it, the more fascinated I became. It's like, man, I actually see this is why they call it a $1 billion industry.
Wow. Okay. And so once you got out, did you immediately go into business, or did you first have to find a job first?
Once I got out and didn't have 2 nickels and
to rub together, right?
So I had to get myself together, man. I ended up getting a job the first week after I got out, and I just kept pushing for them. My first full year, I was living with family members and stuff, just trying to build up some money in my bank account and everything, and get myself situated. Right. But the process of just getting it done, man, it's been grinding. It's been grinding.
And so you've been home since 2016? Yeah. 15? 2016. Okay. And when did you actually start the tilted cryotherapy service?
I actually started the service about 8 months ago.
Oh, 8 months ago? Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. So fresh and new. And just based on our previous conversations, man, it's doing pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Hey, so take me through, or take us through, if I decide to utilize this service, like, what is it? Because I know a lot of people probably aren't familiar with it. So walk me through that. Like, what can I expect from Tilted 360? Which is because first and foremost, it's a mobile service, right? Most places, you can kind of go into that, like the differentiator from what you do opposed to what other companies such as yourself do. Okay. What separates you?
What separates us is number one and foremost, we're mobile. Any cryo center that you go to right now is going to be a land center where you have to go to them. Second, what set us different is pricing. Being that we can move around as we want to, we can get the lowest prices. We can drop the price to make sure that the customers are satisfied with it.
Okay, perfect, man. All right, and so walk us through that whole situation. What can I expect? But when I hop in this van or in this bus that's outfitted, for this whole treatment, what's there for me?
Okay, first we're gonna do a couple questionnaires so far as let's figure out exactly what you're going through. Like if you big on working out, so maybe you need muscle recovery. If an older person come in, maybe they need something to help them with arthritis, so they may not want their whole body done. They just want a certain area, probably their hands or their wrists or knees or something like that. But we can take it and we can target whatever area you need that's either bothering you or you want to recover, whether it's backaches, whether it's migraines, whether it's arthritis, whether it's you just want to step inside and burn 500 calories in a quick session. We tailor our needs. We tailor what we do to make sure you get the benefits you need.
Wow. Hey, so hold on. You telling me that I can burn 500 calories for every session? And every session is 3 minutes?
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Wow. Yeah. I know a lot of people would appreciate that. Now, okay, what's the difference between me burning this 3 minutes? I mean, burning these 500 calories in 3 minutes utilizing this particular service, opposed to me getting on the treadmill for an hour and burning the same 500 calories?
Because you're dealing with two different temperatures. With a treadmill, your body is going to warm up automatically. That's what's going to help you burn those calories. But your body is going to warm up in stages, right?
Right.
Being with cryotherapy, once you step inside that chamber, we're doing the opposite. We're taking your body to a negative degrees. You're going to negative 230. So when you step out and your body it's gonna pump extra harder. You're gonna be burning more calories as your body warm up the natural way, besides you trying to warm your body up on a treadmill.
Okay, are you talking about once you recover after that
Yeah,
3 minutes and you're coming back,
yeah,
it's fighting to kind of get, okay, I get it.
exactly.
Wow. Well, that's very, very unique, man. That's
Yeah.
real unique. I know a lot of people would love to be able to do that because that's a lot, 500 calories in three
And 3
minutes. And,
minutes.
and how much is that service typically?
The typical service starting off with us, we're gonna do a service for $34.99. You know, if
Right.
that's for full body. If you're looking for something just like a localized cryotherapy session, then we're starting off at $19.99.
Okay, and that's something like, say I want to my hands or
Yeah,
my calf
yeah,
or something
ankle.
like that.
Yeah,
Ankle,
yeah.
right? Okay. So when you say ankle, could that be used like maybe if I sprain my ankle, would
Yeah.
that
Oh,
help
most
out?
definitely.
So
Most
basically,
definitely.
it's like icing a particular part of your body if it's sprained.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow, and that's for 3 minutes as well.
We can do those up to 5 minutes because they don't go so cold. The localized machines only go to -30. So
Okay,
you can do it a little longer.
right. So let's talk about your branding, man, and how you were able to actually like target your particular audience because this is something new, right? It's
Mhm.
not an industry that's been around for a long time. And so how did you like kind of come up with your customers and kind of get the word out? I mean, of course it's mobile, so you're everywhere, but like actually finding those particular the audience for it and
Okay,
and
okay.
and have them buy in to something like this.
Being that it's dealing with so many different avenues, you know, everybody from the ages of 8 all the way up to, I would say, 60, 65, 70 years old, you know,
Yeah.
whether you got youth athletes, whether they playing football, baseball, gymnastics, whatever like that, whether you got the teenagers playing college ball or football, whether you got the people that's inside beauty, you know, the moms that want to get what they call it, facials and things like that, anti-wrinkles and stuff like that. We
Mm,
got a wide variety that we can market it to, you know. Like
yeah.
I told you, from older folks that has arthritis to people that can't sleep good, they got sleep apnea, you know,
Yeah.
things like that, insomnia, uh, even on the physical part, so far as hooking up with doctors' offices for people that's going through physical therapy themselves.
Okay.
It's a wide range, man.
Yeah, yeah. And so what was the cost involved with something like this? Because I had a chance to see the inside of your mobile unit, man. It's impressive, you know. But it definitely don't look like it's mobile. You know what I mean? I think that was the whole idea, the whole
Yeah,
idea behind it,
yeah,
you know what I mean, to provide that experience. So with providing that experience, it comes at a cost though, for you as a business owner. So something like that, like what does something like that run to be able to actually
man.
create that and actually run it every day?
I'll say just be looking to spend over 100K.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, so what are the numbers looking like? You don't have to be specifically, but to kind of get an audience an idea, because again, it is something new. Um, the things you told me, I was
Well,
surprised by, right?
let's
So,
just say, let's just say, this past few weeks we had the Susan G. Komen going on, breast
okay,
cancer awareness. This is an
okay,
event. This is an event that we went to. You know, me and my staff, we showed up there, and you had over 5,000 people there.
mm,
So I ended up doing what, probably like 317, 320 people,
wow,
you know, within an 8 hour time frame.
wow,
So if you're looking at 320 times
yeah,
$35, that's what kind of numbers you're looking at. That's in
exactly, yeah,
one day.
yeah, yeah. That's over 10 grand. That's
Yeah,
over ten
one
grand
day.
in one day. Absolutely, wow. That's a nice chunk of money, and so that's something that kind of can be done. You can kind of replicate that at
Oh yeah,
different
most
events.
definitely.
I,
Most
I, I,
definitely.
absolutely. So what was the coming home, man? You
Oh
know,
man.
never really been an entrepreneur. You know, before at least legally, right?
No,
So
not legally.
right, so
So
how was you able to navigate that, man? And what kind of advice could you provide as it relates to some of the challenges and things that you overcame with being an entrepreneur?
man, you know, when I came home, it was a lot of challenges, man. Just not having too much anything. Like I told you, it took me a week to get a job, and you know, I was depending on other people to pick me up, drop me off, and things like that. So I was thinking about different ways so far as how can I help myself create more money to get where I want to go. You know, and
Yeah,
that's what pushed me to come out with a publishing company because I had already manuscripts that I had previously wrote from being incarcerated. I needed an outlet for them, so I decided to create my own outlet.
Okay, and what was that outlet?
I ended up coming up with a publishing company called ARD Publishing, and it pushed me to put my own books out and do everything like that.
Okay, and those books, are they related to this particular industry of cryotherapy, or is it more so something totally different?
It's more so totally different. I got what I call urban literature, things that we like to read for entertainment, and I also have motivational self-help book, to help you reach your goals and pull out your full potential within yourself.
Is that so? So what are some of those nuggets, man, that you wrote in that self-help book, man, that can really help the audience out? And what is again just self, or is it something far as the business as a whole?
The main thing is never let somebody else determine what success is for you.
Okay, can you go into that? I say, can you go into that?
Yeah, it's like what I define as success doesn't mean you define it as success. We're two different people.
Right.
If I feel like just me getting a job is being successful, then that's success to me.
Okay.
But you have to stop letting people put stipulations up on what they feel like it takes for you to be successful.
No, yeah, absolutely, man. And so, what were some of the other challenges you may have faced, like when you came home, that you can kind of tell anyone that's coming home from incarceration or just want to do something different in life, as it relates to entrepreneurship? Because I know you got a team as well.
Yeah. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep pushing, man. You gotta surround yourself with the staff members and people that want to see you succeed. You can have a dream all day long, but you got to take the necessary steps, and you got to do some form of networking to bring all that into existence. You can do the research and all the experiments all on your own, but you're going to need somebody to network with.
Right. And so how did you find your network? Because coming home from prison, you had zero social capital. I can relate to that. And so, how was you able to connect to the different people to build your team that you have right now?
The first thing I did, man, I went and got me a suit, because I know you got to dress to impress. So I I put a suit on, man. I just start talking to anybody, because people respect you more, and they want to see what you got going on. You can just start off by saying hello and just finding out what they do with their life or what kind of industry they in, and you can find a way to help yourself utilize that. But it's all about talking, man.
Right. And so some people, man, they may be a little apprehensive about doing that, So how does a person overcome that? Maybe they're an introvert and they just don't really like talking, or
Then I would say that's where you do your research at. You got to make Google become your best friend.
Right. I like that, man. I like that. And so when you were learning about this cryotherapy while you were inside, what were some of the differences? Because I know, like, when you're in there, or when you don't really have hands-on with it, there's a lot of theory with it, right? And so then we had limited information that we could get, but at least enough to kind of get us talking about it and thinking a little bit more about it. And so when you got out, like, what were some of the biggest differences you seen from the stuff you were just reading and then the stuff you had to really just apply once you got into the business or to get the business started?
Oh, so what I did, I came out and I started researching about local cryotherapy centers here in Dallas. Okay. And I call and email, schedule an appointment, go up there and talk to the person who owned it, and just try to get as much information I can from them. Right. And just by me showing interest in it, they liked that. So they was trying to help me create avenues to get inside the industry.
Okay. So you came in, just so I can get this clear, like, you told them that this is what you were trying to do, like open up your own cryotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
And they were open to still give you the information on it? Because I know a lot of businesses probably like, no, I don't want to give up this game. Yeah.
But being like, okay, even with that industry right there, if you got a land business, so far as you have to go to them, it's a zoning that comes into effect. What I did was I told them that I'm going to be way on the other side of the town, which in actuality, I was going to be. But once I got the thought of making it mobile, that's like, okay, I can go anywhere then.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that was pretty smart. So you was able to not only get the information, but also get some contacts and things of that nature to help you build this thing out. Now take us through that process when you were trying to build it out, like all of the different challenges that you were facing. Because if I'm not mistaken, you're like the only mobile cryotherapy unit in the city
Yeah.
of Dallas?
Yes. Yeah.
Or is it a little deeper than that? Is it a certain
It,
part of Texas? Like you're the only company that does mobile?
I know anywhere from Dallas to North Texas, it's only me. Only place that I know of that got something that's mobile, but it's not exactly like mine because mine is a shuttle bus and theirs is a trailer. It's down there
Okay.
in Houston.
Oh wow,
You
man.
know, yeah. So that's a 4 hour drive away from me, 300 some miles. I ain't even got to worry about them. But just
Yeah.
the challenges of facing it. I had to come up with the best way I feel like to make it mobile. You know, I didn't want to put it inside a trailer because I don't have a truck. I want to do everything all in one.
Right.
You know, so it took time and research, man. But I end up coming up with a shuttle bus idea.
Okay.
You know, and once I got that idea, I got with the people to see if they think if it's possible to have it built out, and they was like, "Yeah, we can do it." You know, it's something they never done before, so of course, all the dimensions and diameters got to be right, and it was a lengthy process, man.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. Now, is one mobile unit, is this $1 million business or can be $1 million business? This one mobile
Oh,
unit?
most definitely, most
Wow.
definitely, most definitely. Yeah.
So the costs involved in like running the day to day of it, is it a lot, or is it some of the
No,
costs are kind of already there and so it kind of pays for itself?
I mean, it's already the only thing that's gonna run day to day that I'm paying for is nitrogen. You know, and
Okay.
that's probably $200 a day that I pay for nitrogen to get my nitrogen refilled up and things like that. But other than that, I'm paying gas. Uh, the overhead, the cost of the daily operations is slim to what you're making on a daily basis.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a perfect situation where you can really scale it out, where
Yeah.
your cost is kind of tapered off, but your revenue kind of exceeds it by multiples.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Well, that's a hell of a kind of a business to kind of definitely get involved in. You know, I definitely believe that you own something, man. And you know that as well. And so even more so, you're also thinking about franchising. That correct?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the next move. The next move for me is to get us another truck and franchise. You know,
Okay,
that way
so
people be able to come directly to me and invest inside the company and get their own bus.
wow,
Yeah.
that's good game there, man. That's good game. So you've actually looked into like all the paperwork that's involved with doing that as well.
Oh yeah.
Or is it,
Yeah.
okay,
I've already
so
I took a look
okay,
into it, and what I want to do is what I want. I'm trying to help everybody overcome the downfalls that I had in it because I already know it.
yeah,
You know, so I'm giving you the blueprint from the word say go.
yeah. And so how many people have you seen that look like me and you that's in this industry?
Truthfully, man, probably one or two out of the hundreds of thousands of people I've met. You know, everybody
Wow.
so far as business owner wise in this industry, probably one. You know, everybody else has been an athlete or somebody that uses it for the benefits of their body.
Okay.
But
Okay. Wow, man.
on the back end and just changing things up to making it a business for some, nah, we limited it, man.
Yeah, yeah. No, I believe, man, that you're adding some value, man. You know, to people's lives with this. You know, I definitely take a look at it. You know, especially saying burning 500 calories a day. You know, that's kind of that's significant, man.
Oh yeah,
People work hard for that to do that. They get on the treadmills and they try to knock that out in 30 minutes to an hour. To do it in 3 minutes, that's phenomenal. You know.
exactly.
Uh, yeah. So how do you get people to overcome, man, that fear of negative 220?
Okay, you know, we got TVs, we got music and everything inside the shuttle bus. So I'm gonna put on some music on that they like. If they want to watch a video or something like that, we put that on and we talk to them. We encourage them to move around and just move their body so they can feel some type of warm up while they in there. Because if they just stand still like that, they gonna freeze out. You gotta move. You gotta move.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Is there anything else you would like to lead the audience, man, before we tune on out?
Man, you know, it's just been a wonderful opportunity, man. I hope everybody go ahead and do their research on cryotherapy and figure out exactly how they can use it for themselves, you know, if they want to get into business aspect of it or if they just want to do it to help their body become better. But it's something that we have to take a look into, man. We got to make our people more aware of it.
Okay, absolutely, man. I think you're doing that, man, and you for sure you like leading a whole new industry, man, and just pioneering a trailblazing path. Not only just from a business standpoint, but just on the health side of things. I can see the potential growth with it, man. I'm happy to hear that you franchising it out, being
Yeah.
able to add that scale to it, man, and looking forward to kind of seeing the name all across the country, mobile
Oh,
units, stuff
guaranteed.
like that.
Yeah.
Especially coming from where we come from. We
Hmm.
like to say over here, unlocking freedom and opportunities over penitentiaries, and just being
Yeah.
able to show the world, an inspiring story, man, but also be able to use guys like you and myself to be able to educate the public on different businesses and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
And I
We,
think you're doing that, man, and definitely it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Is there what can we reach you, man? If we wanted to, I don't know, get up
uh,
with you as it relates to whatever. How
Man,
does that work?
if you want to reach me, you can send me an email at tilted360@gmail.com. You can look us up on Facebook at Tilted Cryo. You can hit us up on Instagram, Tilted360 Cryo. Also, we got an app. So if you want to, you can download the app and send us a message. It's called the
Okay.
Tilted app. You go there, you'll see our logo on there, and it's on all platforms on Apple phones and Android. So
Okay, then. All right, man. Definitely. I like that, man. I like that, bro. Thank you all for tuning in to another dope episode of Escaping the Odds with my main man, Ronnie Reed. Doing
thank
some
you.
dope things down there in Dallas, man, expanding over throughout the whole country, man. Cryotherapy, a unique, new, innovative service, man. I think definitely we all should kind of take a look into it. You can hear this podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, but YouTube channel Escaping the Odds, and as well as escapingtheodds.com. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this episode. Continue to support myself and Mr. Ronnie Reed. Like, comment, reach out, and let's continue to unlock freedom through these stories of success through entrepreneurship. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, peace.